Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to St. John's High School in Redskin Field. We've got a surprise matchup today with the Snowflake Lobos and the St. John's Redskins. The game was put into the schedule this past week, and we're excited to be back for one more time around. Looks like Snowflake is stepping into the box, and the first batter up is Jace LeSueur. Jace is playing shortstop. This is a heck of a little ball player here from Snowflake, and first pitch of the night in the dirt for ball one. Great pitching matchup tonight. We have Cale Stewart for the St. John's Redskins and Caden Cantrell for the Snowflake Lobos. In my opinion, the two best quarterbacks in the White Mountains will be facing off on the mound. There's the second pitch with a lot of heat on it, but just a little high. Takes Cale a little while to get dialed in. Needs to just throw the glove.
He's got a lot of pop to the glove today. He's throwing pretty hard.
He is throwing hard. There's a ball hit high in the air out to right field. Afton Cox is in and makes the play for the first out of the inning. And so up to bat now for the Snowflake Lobos is one of the two seniors on this Lobo ball club. This is Caleb Lyman, number 2, the second baseman. Good athlete, ready to go, steps in, batting from the left side, hitting .383 on the year. He's got 8 RBIs and a home run. That first pitch is outside. I'm joined today by none other than Paul Hancock. Buddy, how you doing?
Oh, I'm cold. I don't like to do these types of games as an official because it's cold.
It is very cold. That sound you hear is me sniffling a little bit because it's cold.
I have that problem as well. But it's a beautiful day. Rain early today. There's been rain on the way in. Talking to the officials, they hit rain in Concho. But so far, it looks like hopefully it'll hold off so we don't have to end the live stream early because I will protect the equipment.
No question about that. I was concerned driving from Snowflake over here today, being rained on the entire way, whether we would get this game in or not. There's the second strike against Caleb, and he brings the count even at 2-2. Cale threw a nice hard fastball right in there, and he was just a little underneath it, fouled that ball back.
And the catcher took a shot, so Chuck Copeland, our home plate umpire, is giving him a little bit of time to gather himself and recover from it. And that's something that as home plate umpires we like to do. Catcher takes a shot. We give him as much time as he needs to get back into it because he's the only thing between us and getting hurt.
That's a good assessment. I will say this, that ball bounced off Joe Buschmann. They probably should check the ball more than check Joe.
It's probably a bruised ball. Now it's probably a mush ball at this point.
All right, full count, the payoff pitch right down the middle. That's a called third strike.
That's a great pitch right at the knees, in the middle of the plate.
Right at the knees. Now up to the plate steps one of my favorite athletes in the White Mountains. I've been watching this kid since he was in the 6th grade. I had a chance to chat with him before the game. Really love this kid. This is Caden Cantrell. He'll be on the mound for the Lobos. He steps in as the number 3 hitter. Looks at Cale. Cale looks at him. And here's the pitch. And that is a strike right down the middle. Cale's throwing hard today.
Looks like Cale's found his rhythm, and he's in the stretch position. And he's found his rhythm there. So, whatever works, whatever helps you throw strikes, let's do it.
Well, he's got such a cannon for an arm that being in the stretch position, he still throws BBs. That ball was just a little high, and so evens the count 1-1.
So he's got a tough job ahead of him. This is a very good Snowflake team. They hit the ball well. They're I hate to say this because we're friends and we officiate a lot of games together, but they are pretty well coached.
They're coached well. There was a time where I didn't know Coach Lang, but I do now. I know how passionate he is. I know how much he cares about these boys and wants to see them be successful. The count goes 2-2 now with an outside half of the plate strike right down the middle. They're going to have to keep it low today. The umpire is calling the pitches down in the zone. And if it's letter high or above, he's not going to give you that pitch. So Cale has battled to another full count. We'll have to make a pitch here to get out of the inning. No runners on, 2 outs here in the top of the first. There's a pitch. That ball is swung on hard and fouled straight back.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch. It's, like I said, Cale's throwing hard. It's up in the zone. That's one of those pitches you're not going to be able to get on top of it and get a ground ball or a line drive. You're just going to pop that up or foul it straight back like he did.
Yeah.
That's not a great hitter's pitch right there.
No, especially with the umpire calling the high pitch. There's a ball hit way up in the air. Could stay in, but it looks like it's going foul. Out of play. So we're going to go back and work that 3-2 count again. Cales came straight down the pipe twice, and Caden has been able to foul that ball off to stay alive. So
I'd say Caden has a little bit of extra pull power. If you look at the positioning of Coach Lang down the third baseline, he's basically with the left fielder.
I think you're right. I agree with you completely. Now he's moving back into the box.
Now he's moving in.
My guess is that Caden probably can pound down the third baseline, and Coach Lang is like, I don't want any part of that. I'm not going to do that. So sure enough, Caden Cantrell draws the walk after 8 pitch at bat, and that's going to bring up the number 4 hitter. It's number 6. It's the sophomore Easton Butler.
So we have a courtesy runner in for Cantrell, the pitcher, getting him off the bases, trying to keep him healthy and ready to go out on there. But Butler here, this is not your prototypical number 4 hitter, unless what the saying is true that dynamite comes in small packages.
Well, I'll say this about Easton because I watched him play varsity football and was a member of that squad that won the state championship. This kid is an athlete and a half, and I love that Coach Lang, with one of his top players being out, lets Easton come in there and get some experience as the number 4 hitter. And Easton's a battler. He'll come in there and really battle hard. Cale throws to first base, and Gage Trickey is unable to come up with it. It looks like Caden Cantrell's going to round second. He's going to go all the way to third base standing.
I tell you, one thing that you're going to find out is Snowflake has speed for days out there. You make a mistake like that, they're going to go first to third all day on you.
Well, and my thought there is you've got 2 outs. You're ahead in the count. You're up no balls and a strike to the hitter. Bear down and get that. Leave him at first base. Now a pass ball scores a run.
Yeah, anything gets this runner in.
So here we go. There's a ball hit high in the air, but it's going to
get out.
Tail out of play. The pinch runner for the Snowflake Lobos is Braden Frost, another sophomore on this Snowflake team.
They're young.
For the listeners out there, they have 2 seniors. The rest are sophomores and juniors. Coach Lang's got a really great group that he's going to get to work with for a couple of years. There's the pitch. It's a little high. That's an easy look off. So that brings the count to 1-2.
Yeah, throw it a little bit high. See if you can get him to swing underneath it and get an easy pop-up or swing and a miss.
Sure.
That's a good pitch.
Good pitch. See if he chases. So Cale looks the runner at third. Here's the pitch. That ball is high again to even the count at 2-2.
So this Snowflake team, they're sitting at number 2 currently in the East, at 7-3 in the region, 11-5 overall. Winslow's ahead of them 8-3. Winslow plays, I think, Holbrook next. But then Snowflake has, I think they have 2 games left.
Yeah, both against Payson, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's double against Payson.
And they have Payson in Snowflake on April 30th, and then they go to Payson on May 4th.
Yeah.
So and Payson's pretty good. They're a pretty solid team. So it's a tough go for the Lobos. But I think if they sweep Payson, then they'll end up winning the conference.
What a pitch by Cale. Cale Stewart throws a fastball past Easton Butler to get the third out of the inning and leave that runner stranded at third base. So after a half inning, still 0-0, and the Redskins will be coming up to bat. The one nice thing about this game for the Snowflake Lobos is this game is going to allow Rhett Wengert to miss this game and still be available to the Lobos when they face Payson next. And a really tough blow for Snowflake this year is losing Brevin Matthews. Brevin, I just wanted to mention, talked to him before the game. Great young man. Brevin was batting .540. He had 23 RBIs and 2 home runs as a sophomore. Kid is special. He's going to be a big deal for Coach Lang and the Snowflake Lobos next year and the year after. Working over in Snowflake, Paul, I'll tell you this, that sophomore class is no joke. They have about 25 athletes. And by athletes, I mean 3 and 4 sport superstars.
Yeah, Snowflake's just loaded. They have great athletes coming up. They have a lot of good numbers in their kids. You know, they're just going to bring the athletes. To beat Snowflake, you're going to have to put it on your A+ game.
Yes.
Most of the time. And if they're well coached, it's even harder to beat them.
Really deliberate move by Caden Cantrell. He almost hesitates in the middle of his windup. Up to bat for the Redskins is the leadoff hitter and captain, Justice Burt. And Justice is a baseball player through and through. Justice looks at that ball down below the knee for ball 2. So Justice is ahead in the count. Coach Davis will give him the green light. If it's there, Justice will be swinging. Inside half, that's a beautiful pitch by
That's a
Caden.
great pitch. Painting the corner on that one.
Yep, so count 2-1 on the captain, Justice Burt. Here's the pitch. There's a ball hit slowly to the second baseman. He's going to have time, and he's able to make the play. So Justice rolls meekly to the second baseman, and for the Lobos, that second baseman is Caleb Lyman. Makes an easy play, the senior second baseman. Yeah. And so up to bat now for the St. John's Redskins is the center fielder, Dion Perry. Dion's looking to get this team going right here. There's a pitch, and that's inside, called strike 1, and that's a nice pitch.
He's found that corner right there. You know, St. John's they're 4-4 in the region, sitting at number 3, and 6-6 overall at number 13. And that one got Dion on the hand.
Dion took that off of the meaty part of the hand, and I don't care where he took it off him, that hurts.
I'm just telling you, you got to respect Dion. Hits him in the hands, throws the bat, goes down, doesn't even rub it.
No.
Doesn't even rub it. Me, I'm in the fetal position crying. I'm like, this is done.
I'll say this, Dion is a tough kid. He's proved that time and time and time again. No problem for him. He's not even looking at it right now. He wants Cale Stewart to give this ball a ride.
I'm excited about this matchup with Cale's ability to hit and this pitcher. This could be fun.
What a beautiful pitch by Caden Cantrell right down the middle. Cale's looking at strike 1. You know, like I said to start this broadcast, the two pitchers today are, in my opinion, the 2 best quarterbacks in the White Mountains, and 2 of the best quarterbacks in the state of Arizona. I'll go out on a limb there. They're really good. There goes Dion all the way down to second base. Ball kicked just a little away from the catcher, and Dion's able to take second base with no problem. Dion's quick.
I was about to say, St. John's, we talk about Snowflake speed. St. John's got a lot of speed out there as well. Dion's one of the quicker kids, and he's going to get up and down the base pass, so you got to keep an eye on him.
The one thing about Dion also is he's going. There's a ball hit, and that's going to
drop.
Should get a
run.
And if Dion gets on his horse, he's going to score that run easily. Here comes the throw, and Dion's in there for the first run of the ball game. Cale with an RBI single out to center field, battled off a really tough pitch by Caden Cantrell.
That was a great pitch, but you're right. He battled it off. Center fielder, great throw to home. Made that play a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah, that was a great throw. Center fielder is Easton Butler the number 4 hitter, the sophomore. So he came in, charging in and made a terrific throw. There's a ball low outside to the cleanup hitter for the Redskins, none other than Joe Buschmann. And Joe's looking down to Coach Davis to get a sign. Joe has been consistent all year. He's just a tremendous player, a tremendous young man. There's a ball swung on and fouled back. And so the count goes to 1-1. I tell you, when I watch St. John's Athletics not being able to see Joe Buschmann, number 15, play on all 3 sports is going to be tough for this coach for sure.
I tell you what, St. John's runners, here's your warning. Kid's got to pick off move.
Yeah, and not only that, he'll bring it to first base at any time. He'll stand there and all of a sudden just move. They may throw it right back at him. He may throw it right back. He'll go back to first base at any time. So, yeah, they're going to need to pay attention. And you can tell Caden has been working on that move. That's a sweet move to first. The ball is strike. They're going to call that inside corner. You're going to have to be ready to hit that. So Buschmann has fallen behind 1 and 2 with 1 out, a runner on first.
That almost looked like a knuckle curve.
He didn't put a lot on that for sure, either a changeup or a knuckle curve. There's a ball hit in the middle. The shortstop dives to make the play, is unable to. Cale is going from first to third. And,
great swim move, but it looked like he still got tagged.
Swimmed over the top of the tag. The umpire made the call on that out. I saw that coming a mile away. Easton Butler, we already saw his arm.
I just told you about his arm.
Yeah.
Cale's not 100% healthy, so that's probably one of the ones that you'd like him to sit there at second.
Yep, and Gage is he puts the bat on the ball. He's a contact hitter, so we'd have had runners first and second. The only thing about that, I don't have a problem with Cale going to third, but after seeing Butler's arm to home plate, I would have questioned whether or not I wanted to go. And the ball was
another one
was out in front of him. Now, ironically enough, this is not surprising with Caden. Caden works the inside part of the plate, and in looking over his statistics, he's hit a couple of boys throughout the season because he works inside. And I like a pitcher that works inside, keeps them all on their feet when a right-handed hitter has to worry about the ball coming so far inside. So now we've got runners at first and second with Wes Scarborough up to bat. And Wes can make contact. There's a pitch way fast.
Going back to Cale getting thrown out at third, you understand the kid's got a great arm out there in center field, but I still love aggressive baseball.
Absolutely.
He still has to make a great throw, which he did. Third baseman's got to catch it and tag, and all that worked out for Snowflake. But one thing goes wrong, we're sitting at 2-0.
Yes, and a pass ball like the one you just saw, possibility you score that. So the runners advanced on the pass ball to second and third, but Wes Scarborough is way behind in the count at 0-2, and here's the pitch, and that ball is absolutely blown past Wes.
Cantrell's putting a little extra on it right now, saying, I'm done. Yep. Let's get it back in the dugout. Let's get our bats going. Tremendous pitches to Wes.
Wes really, he had probably struck out most of the Redskins with those 3 pitches he gave to Wes right there, because he worked down, he worked inside, then he worked up, and Wes was way behind on those. So after 1 inning, the Redskins were able to plate 1 run. Deion Perry was able to score on a Cale Stewart RBI, and the Redskins lead this ball game 1-0 with the Snowflake Lobos coming to bat here in the top of the second. They've got senior Garrett Rapier coming up, number 12, playing right field, followed by number 7, Ashton Munger, who is the first baseman, and then the third hitter in this inning will be the left fielder, and that is Tristan Clough. So we'll see if Cale can get these first 3 hitters out and not let anything get started. Garrett Rapier is just such a classy kid. I've had the opportunity to get to know he and his brother a little bit, and they're just good guys. The one thing about him is Paul, he's got quite a strike zone. He's a tall kid, and so Cale can work that to his advantage. He could be successful. We'll see what happens here as Garrett steps into the batter's box.
I tell you, I would not want to be a catcher today with the way these two kids are throwing and the temperature.
I agree with you. Your hands are going to be black and blue when you get home tonight, and you're probably not going to even feel them till, say, 6 a.m.
Especially those last 3 pitches by Cantrell, I'm telling you.
Well, and Cale's throwing just as hard right now. Let me just say, I think that Cale and Cantrell know who their opposing pitcher is, and they're just trying to show each other, hey, you can throw that hard, watch this.
They're both
I can
competitors.
Throw that hard.
Yeah, they're great competitors, both kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to watch them both pitch here. There's a nice pitch. Joe Buschmann holds that ball there for quite some time, but umpire's going to say that was just a little high.
Yeah, probably a little bit high.
So 2-0 on the batter. There's a ball outside, and Cale falls behind 3-0. So Garrett is trying to milk a walk out of this pitcher. A leadoff walk is always nice. And there's a pitch high and outside, and so Garrett Rapier is able to work a walk, and that is going to bring up Munger, who is hitting second here. And he looks down at his coach. His coach says hit the ball, and that's what he's planning on doing. We're looking over our head at this black thing they call rain clouds that seem to be getting closer and closer. So there's a ball, strike on the outside corner. Good way to start off this at bat.
Yeah, that was a great cutter. Cale threw a cutter, probably caught the front edge of the plate. Was able to get a strike call. Good start.
They're holding the runner on. He's got about a 3-step lead. Here's a bunt. That ball's hit over our heads, out of play for strike 2. I dare say he won't be bunting now. He's going to have to hit away with an 0-2 count.
0-2, yeah, definitely have to hit it. He's really up on top of that plate. Now he's backed off a little bit, trying to take the inside part of the plate away from Cale.
Cale's going to come hard with this ball. See if he can catch up to it or not. There's a throw over to first just to say, hey, I know you're there.
Yeah, that's a how you doing throw.
Nothing hard over there, just a quick throw to say, hey, I want to see your mom wash that uniform tonight.
Absolutely.
There's a pitch.
Whoa, that's a nice hook on that one.
Beautiful curveball, stayed up in the zone just a little bit. 1-2 on the first baseman. So Cale looks in, comes set, and the pitch. Way outside, and now Munger has evened the count to 2-2. Cale's going to need to bear down and get this out. This is an important out if he want to protect that one-run lead here.
Absolutely. It'd be great to see a double play ball.
And they've turned many of them this year, so they can do it. There's the pitch, and that's a strikeout for the first out of the inning.
That's half as good as a double play ball, just to tell you. Half
as good.
Half as good.
Yes. So up to the plate now steps the left fielder, Tristan Clough. Looks down at Coach Lang, and Coach Lang is saying, hit the ball.
Yeah, I think he has to have binoculars to see Coach Lang at this point. I mean, he is way out there in left field.
We're going to have to talk to him about that. He may or may not be out of the coach's box by 25 feet.
Yeah, might have to start calling him Chicken Little down there.
Hey, I don't blame him. It's cold. We've already talked about how bad the ball would hurt if you were hit by it. I don't want to get hit by a batted ball, that's for sure. Here's the pitch, and that ball is outside. So he's looking at the count now, and again, looking down at Coach Lang. He lets him know that there's one out. The count is 2 balls and no strikes to the hitter. And here comes the pitch, and that is outside corner for strike 1. Cale looks in, there's the pitch, and there's a ball right in the same spot, and that one's fouled straight back. So now Stewart has evened the count at 2-2. So 2-2 on the hitter after a foul tip. Here comes the pitch. Boom, straight at the shortstop. This is double play ball. Justice Burt takes it himself and turns the unassisted double play from shortstop to first base.
I tell you, just what the doctor ordered. You know, get out of the inning. 2 outs at one time is a great thing to see and great thing to do. So.
And the thing I love most about that, Paul, is now that was the 7th hitter, so Kale is able to leave the 8-9 hitter still on the bench, and that's who he'll face to start the 3rd inning. You always like to see that when you're a pitcher. I know as a coach, I really enjoy being able to get out of there and not get through the lineup in 2. Waiting to see those last hitters in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to flip the lineup, especially with this potent Snowflake team.
Well, and like I said, this Snowflake team's only going to get better and better and better. They're so young. They all do a great job. I'm seeing Caden say one more pitch and I'm good. He's saving that arm. He knows when his arm's warmed up and ready to go.
Absolutely.
So they call batter up, and for the Redskins, the number 7 hitter and right fielder, Afton Cox, steps in. Last game we called here, probably one of my favorite plays all year was 2 runners on, Afton Cox at the plate, runners on first and second, and Afton lays down the best-looking bunt I've seen in a long, long time, able to move the runners easily. It was so perfectly placed that Afton was able to get on first base as well, and so he loaded the bases. So
I love small ball. You know, fundamentally correct, good sound baseball, laying down the bunt.
So here is a balk warning because what the pitcher did was he moved toward first base, then he hesitated, then he came back toward first base. If he's going to make that, he's got to make it at the top of his windup.
Well, once you start your motion, you can't stop. It's an illegal pitch because once you start the motion, it's got to be fluid and continuous.
There's a ball hit, and there's another one of those slow rollers. Those are tough plays.
It's tough.
Afton needs to he probably needs to put a patent on that because I've seen him do it like 3 times this year, and he's able to, you know what that is? That's a base hit.
Yeah.
A year from now, when you look back at the books, that's a base hit.
And it looks just like one that was roped out to the left fielder and bounced right in front of him. It looks like he got all of it and drove it deep, but it works.
It works, and he gets on first base, and that brings up Dayson Spencer, the left fielder. I'd like to see Dayson get going here. There's a pitch, beautiful pitch to hit on the outside half of the plate for a called strike 1.
Now's a great time for the Redskins to try to extend the lead a little bit with the umpire talking about his motion and making him change his motion a little bit.
Yeah.
It affects the pitcher.
Dayson reached down to try and bunt that instead of pulled the bat back, and he is given a called strike on that bunt attempt. So Dayson falls way behind in the count, 0-2. He's going to need to make contact. He's going to need to stay active and swing at anything close. The ball's going to be coming in hot. There's a ball high and nose high right in your face. Easy to lay off of because you were worried about getting killed right there.
It's either that or you're protecting yourself with a swing. It's a great pickoff move, head aft and dive and hard for the base.
He throws it at any time. He throws it in unusual times while he's standing on the mound. It's not that same thing that you see everywhere else, and that is a swinging strike 3. So that brings up the second baseman and number 9 hitter for the Redskins. This is Michael Buschmann, the younger brother of Joe Buschmann, the catcher.
You like to see this, St. John's. You flip the order now.
Yes.
If you can get him on with only 1 out still, that's great.
He went ahead on the bunt attempt for strike 1. those are things that you just got to learn over time if you're Michael. That ball was low and outside, but he kept that bat out there trying to make contact. Here's the pitch. There, he made contact, but fouled it back. So now he's way behind in the count, 0-2, and he's looking down at Coach Davis. Coach doing a tremendous job down there teaching his young freshmen. Redskins have 2 freshmen on this ball club, and Coach Davis is really working with both of them because that's the future of Redskin baseball. What a great throw again. Quick throw over there, and Afton has to get down, get dirty. So with 1 out, they're trying to keep that runner close. There's a pitch, swung on and missed for strike 2. So now that brings up the leadoff hitter for the Redskins, the captain, Justice Burt, and we'll see if he can't put a sting into this ball and move Afton around the bases. Justice has the potential to really do damage. The umpire laid off, calling that a strike. A little low, and the curveball was dropping. So here's the pitch. That ball low again. So Justice is ahead in the count now, 2-0, and Caden's going to have to come straight across the plate. Caden and Justice know each other real well. When they were in Little League together, Justice was a pitcher and Caden was a catcher on a Little League team over in Snowflake that Justice played on. So these 2 athletes know each other really well and both have a ton of respect for one another. Justice thinks Caden is tremendous, and Caden feels the same way about Justice. So this is going to be fun. 2-1. And here's the pitch. And that's swung on and hit hard to the shortstop. He's going to have to charge in a can of corn. And they call that out at first base. Great throw by the shortstop. He's able to make a play there. And at the end of 2 innings, the score remains 1-0. Jace LeSueur, one of my favorite players on this Snowflake Lobo team, charged that thing as soon as it was hit, made a great play on it. The ball jumped up nicely for him. He didn't even have to bend over to get it. Jumped up nicely, and he was able to throw a dart to first base to get the out. And Justice is quick going down the line, so he knew he had to hurry.
Yeah, Justice is one of the faster kids on the team here. So a slow roller is going to be a close play at first base. You like to see him hustling.
Oh, so he's running, and I think he's probably the fastest kid on this team. I look around and I see Dion out there. Dion's quick. I think Justice is quick. We've got a lot. Gage, Tricky is super fast on the base paths. So up to the plate steps for the Snowflake Lobos steps Ryan Caskey. One thing I know about him is I want to say, and I'm saying this just off the top of my head, but I believe he's their ace pitcher. He is a tough pitcher. He has a great ERA. He's tough to deal with on the mound. Today we're lucky enough to have him playing third base, so we're going to need to concentrate and get these first couple of outs to not get deep into the top of their order. Ryan has 6 RBIs and is batting .242 on the season, and he steps in here as Cale looks in for the sign, gets the sign. First pitch of the 3rd inning on its way is outside, ball 1.
Yeah, Cale's feeling it. That arm seems to be loose. The ball's popping off of it a little bit. Just continue to pound the strike zone. You know, he's doing a great job for the first 2 innings.
There's a great pitch right down the middle. It came right over his ear with that ball. I like it when his arm slot is high above his shoulder and not 3/4 arm. And that's hard. That pitch is hard to hit. So even count 1-1. There's another strike right down the middle. And so Cale's able to get up ahead on Caskey with a 1-2 count. On deck for the Lobos is number 4, Reeves Hyatt, so the catcher. There's a ball, and Ryan laid off that. He gave that a couple of thoughts. He thought about swinging. He thought about not. He thought about swinging. Finally, he laid off a good decision.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch because Cale's been getting the outside corner a little bit, but that was well off the plate.
So here's the pitch. And that ball swung on and missed straight back to keep the count at 2-2. All right, so Cale looks in, knows how important this first out is. Looks in, get the signs.
At this point, I mean, you got the 8-9 batters up. You want to bear down and get them and flip the order with 2 outs.
Yeah, I don't want to see runners on when Jace LeSueur steps up to bat. I definitely don't want to see runners on with a 500 hitter coming up. So let's get this out right here. Full count. There's the payoff pitch.
Great
that
pitch.
Ball's lined to right field, but that's going to drop out of play just outside the right field line. So Cale is able to come back, and that was a good battle off by Ryan. Ryan was able to take a pitch that was going to be hard to hit and just battle it off. Look for another pitch to hit. So Cale stares in, gets the count. Here's the pitch. And he lays off that. It's just outside. And so now up to the plate steps Reeves Hyatt, the catcher. And with a runner on first base, I wouldn't mind seeing that same double play ball. Love what Wes Scarborough did at third base and step way in on the grass, daring him to bunt it to third base. He'll be coming.
Yeah, this is a great bunt opportunity.
And there's the bunt. It's up in the air and back to the screen. I like that aggressiveness by Wes. I wouldn't even mind seeing him come a little further once that bunt comes out. Once he sticks that bat out there and squares around, I'd be staring him right in the eyes. I'd come running all the way in.
Absolutely. Just come in, get it. You're your 9-9 hitter. That's what basically they're known for, is be able to put the bunt down.
Yep, I agree with you. There's a throw back to first, not in time, and the runner is easily back to first base. So now Cale looks in again. Ryan's got a medium lead. It's not too big. He's just looking for that contact bunt first. And as a bunter, I love to see that. The ball's high. He pulls the bat back, takes it, not trying to pop that thing in the air. So now we've got a 1-1 count on the hitter. And Reeves, nice job. There's that bunt again, but again the ball was high and he pulled it back, so the count goes to 2-1 on the hitter with the shortstop Jace LeSueur on deck. I really would love to see an out here. So
yeah, definitely. I mean,
there's
really
the
batter's trying to give himself up by bunting it.
Yeah, let him bunt it.
Absolutely. Just put one down there that he can bunt, let him sacrifice himself, and we got Wes coming in. Wes should be able to get it and get it to third base. Just let him hit it.
Yeah.
Let him bunt it.
That ball was low, so 3-1 count, and the hitter is going to square to bunt again. And that is ball 4, and Cale's walked the first 2 batters of the third inning. And that brings up the top of the lineup, the shortstop, Jace LeSueur. And just a couple of things about Jace. He's, first of all, he's a tremendous athlete. Second of all, he's a junior. He's batting .500. He's got 19 RBIs on the season from the leadoff hole, and he's got 2 home runs on the season. The kid can hit. We're going to really need to bear down here, pay attention. I might even want to give him a little space out there in center field because this kid can pound. So he takes the first pitch for a ball. Here's the next pitch. That ball is shot right up the middle toward Justice, who makes the play at second base, dives out. What a great play by Justice Burt. That ball was hit on the screws. Justice dives, knocks the ball down, and then crawls to second base to get the put out.
I tell you, there was 2 great plays made on that one. I mean, the hit was great. Cale was able to get his head out of the way of that ball because that ball was coming for him, and it was going to do some damage.
I agree with you. That ball was hit hard right back at the pitcher.
And then Justice was able to get there. Lost his footing a little bit, or else we might have had an attempt at 2. So now runners at first and third.
We got that first out, and that was important. So now up to the plate steps the senior, Caleb Lyman, the second baseman. Throw over to first just to keep him honest. Caleb is hitting .383. He's got 80 RBIs, and he has 1 home run this year for the Lobos. So he's looking to get started here. He was put out in the very first inning. And so now Joe Buschmann wants to have a second to talk to Cale Stewart. He runs out there. Quick message. He's back. He's ready to go. 1 out. Runners at the corners. I know they're talking about the runner at first, Jace LeSueur, taking off and going to second base on movement. But he doesn't go, and the pitch is high and easily laid off by Caleb.
Yeah, I'm not sure Snowflake runs on this. I think right now, they flip their order. You got your number 2 batter up right now. You have 1 out. You have the potential for a big inning. Don't run yourself out of it. There he goes.
He's gone, and the throw down. Justice comes up, throwing back to home plate, but the throw is over the head of the catcher. And so the run scores to tie this ball game up, and that was Ryan Caskey, the third baseman, who scores on a throw over the head of Joe Buschmann. And the runner at second base is able to go from first to third. So tie ball game, runner at third, one of your top hitters, Caleb Lyman, up to bat. And on deck sets Caden Cantrell.
Yeah, you got 2 tough big bats here right now coming up here. Coach Davis, hey, look, we need to settle down. We don't want a crooked number put up here right now. We want to keep it to 1. So let's just settle down. Let's get the batter and move on. But it's a tough go. Snowflake can hit the ball.
Well, Snowflake's not gonna let you off easy. They're gonna make you make plays. The big thing there is, if you're going to make that throw, Justice was coming in, and he was moving toward the first base bag while trying to make a throw to home plate. Really difficult throw to make. And he airmailed that thing to you and I, Paul, back here on the backstop screen. So now with 1 ball and no strikes, Caleb Lyman steps in, looks it over, knows he's got a duck standing over there at the third base bag. There's a pitch straight down the middle for strike 1.
That's a great pitch by Cale after giving up the lead, letting him tie the game. Come in here, get a pitch, get the strike, and let's get going.
Yeah.
So it's like 2-1.
So 2-1 on the batter, and here's the pitch. There's another pitch right down the middle, and the batter was just way behind that. I think they underestimate the power of Cale's fastball when he brings it in there. And so now Cale has evened the count at 2-2. Big time to get a strikeout here and keep that runner safely over at third base.
Might be a good time for an off-speed pitch. Oh.
That ball is on the inside corner, and that's called third strike looking.
You got to love that. You love coming in. I love to see the pitcher come in, get 2 big ones, then come right in on the inside corner and sit you down.
He really did a good job. He came straight across the middle of the plate with the first 2, and then on that one he painted the inside half. So up to the plate steps Caden Cantrell. I love his stance. He's got that open stance where he's able to drop that shoulder into the strike zone. The first time up, Cale was unable to get him to bite at those high pitches. So Cale's going to have to bring it down into the zone for
he's a pretty disciplined hitter.
He's a disciplined hitter. He's got 17 RBIs on the season. He'd like to add to that. He's got a couple of home runs to go along with those RBIs. He's a good hitter. He looks at strike 1 right there, so I'm not sure that that's not the first strike he's seen all day. And there's a ball hit high, deep into left field. It's foul, and it's out of play over the fence, so he hit that thing a ton.
Oh, yeah, he put a charge in that sucker. If he could have held it. Kept it fair. It's a 3-1 ball game for Snowflake.
Yep, that ball had more than enough distance to clear the fence, but fouled that thing off by about 25 feet. So looks in again. Now he's behind in the count, 1-2. There's a ball hit high in the air. That's on the infield. Justice Bird's calling for that already. I can hear him from here. And they're able to to get out of the inning with a catch. Now, here's the thing about that. I don't like that.
Well, let me tell you about that catch. It didn't look like he was making a transfer to his hand, so that easily could have been called a drop and an error and a base hit, basically.
Not sure it wasn't called that. However, everybody just...
Snowflake went in. If you look at the home plate umpire, he's kind of looking like, what are they going to do? Because I don't think he held it long enough. And the rule says it has to be a voluntary release.
Agreed. I agree with you
voluntary release.
completely.
I'm not so sure that was there, but the runners gave themselves up. He didn't touch home plate. If the kid touches home plate, I think we have a 2-1 ball game, and then the runner going in. Well, he'd have to touch first for that run to count. But
yes. He went into the dugout, and I was watching the official who had his hand flat and watching the batter. And as soon as the batter got to the on-deck circle, he turned, took his mask off, and the play was over at that point. But I'm telling you right now, that runner goes to first base, that run scores.
I think you're right. I think Snowflake made a big mental error on that one and gave it away. St. John's made a mental error. Catch the ball, use 2 hands, catch it, secure it, make it show that you're doing it.
Well, and if you're going to catch it and drop it, I have no problem with that. Catch it with your glove hand, drop it with your throwing hand, everything's good. Yeah, but don't catch it with your glove and drop it with your glove.
Yeah, no need to look cool.
So now we've got a tie ball game with Dion Perry, the number 2 hitter for the Redskins, up to bat. That is tough. That ball is about 5 feet up the line, and Dion's able to make it easily without a throw.
That was a very hard hit, swing and bunt.
And the other thing that's funny about that hit right there is Caden's given up a couple of hits. Let's say he's given up 3. 2 of them haven't gone 15 feet.
Absolutely. And that's a tough one. No one's going to get to that one. Catcher's not going to be able to get up and over there and get a good throw. Pitcher's not going to get off the mound and get a good throw. Third baseman was playing too deep. It's just, a perfectly laid down swinging bunt.
So now up to bat is the pitcher, Cale Stewart, facing Caden Cantrell. I love this matchup. This is a fun matchup to watch. And Caden's ahead in the matchup right now with 1 strike on Cale. Here's the pitch. Ball is in the dirt, tough to handle. That was going to be a tough play either way, and Dion was going. And so that was just going to be tough.
Yeah, Dion got a great jump on that one. It was going to take a tremendous throw to get him.
Yeah, tough throw. And Reeves knew he was going, tried to hurry that, but it was in the dirt, and that was just tough to deal with. So now 1-1 on the hitter, Cale Stewart. There's the pitch. Cale hits that thing in the gap between shortstop and third base. Dion rounds third. He's going home, and he slides in safely to score the second run of the ball game. If I'm not mistaken, Dion's come across this place twice, and
I think so.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, Dion did a Pete Rose into home plate, and the air brakes hit him so hard he almost didn't touch the base.
No.
Once he hit the ground, this wet ground just basically stopped him dead in his tracks.
That muddy ground, Dion goes head first and just stops. Now, Cale with the RBI single for the second time in as many at-bats is being replaced over at first base by Luis Morales, who's going to come on. Luis is quick, so it's nice to see him out there running for Cale. Let Cale get in and warm that shoulder up. Joe Buschmann looks down, and Coach Davis has given him a handful of signals down there, and with no outs and a runner at first, Redskins have already plated 1. This is an important at bat. There's the pitch. That's a nice pitch for strike 1.
I tell you, this is a good move by Coach Davis, getting Cale inside, not letting him run the bases and hurt his hip anymore. This is a game. A win would be tremendous here, but you got a couple of games coming up that are really big for you.
I'm looking. That ball was just out of the reach of the catcher, and so Luis is able to move down to second base. Joe looks in. I'm looking over here, and the number 1 player on this Lobos team is unable to play today. He's standing here behind me watching the ball game. But I did want to mention Rhett Wengert. He's hitting .630. Kid is a beast. 21 RBIs, a home run, and so he's sorely missed today in this Redskin Lobo matchup. But he'll be back against Payson in a couple of days.
Yeah, that's a tremendous loss for the Lobos to have one of your better hitters out of the lineup. It's tough. It's a good thing today's game scheduled. He's able to play tomorrow or
he'll be able
Saturday.
to play in a conference game. There's a ball hit by Joe Buschmann down the third base line. What a beautiful hit by Buschmann, and it plates Luis Morales from second base, and Joe Buschmann with a RBI stand-up single. Ball was hit right in between the left fielder and the third baseman, so there hadn't been a hard hit ball yet, and the Redskins have scored 2 runs.
And that ball, once it hit the grass, it just kind of died right there.
It's
making
damp,
it a tougher
it's
close
wet.
for the left fielder, tougher play for the left fielder.
So up to the plate for the Redskins steps Gage Trickey, the first baseman. Gage is ready. The ball is right down on the outside half, knee high. What a great pitch. That's called strike 1.
Gage is probably wanting a little bit of revenge. Last at bat, I think he took it in the helmet.
Yeah, he did. There's the throw over to first base, and Buschmann's easily back.
And for the record, I'm starting to feel a little bit of raindrops, so we may be ending here shortly.
If we do, I'll be sad because this is a heck of a ball game, but I'm looking over the top of us, and it's getting darker and darker and darker. So
We've been getting drops here and there, but now we're starting to pick up a little bit on the drops, and we just want to protect our equipment.
Absolutely have to protect this equipment. It's got a lot of work to do in the next few years.
Absolutely will.
There's the ball hit to the second baseman. He gets down on that and is able to make the play at first base, but the runner advances to second base. So Gage Trickey's able to drive that ball to Caleb Lyman at second base. Caleb comes up with it. He doesn't have a play at second, has to go to first base. And so Joe Buschmann is now in scoring position with 1 out, and Wes Scarborough at the plate. And Wes swings and misses for strike 1. We're going to continue with Paul's jack. Paul has sacrificed greatly here. He has taken his jacket off to put it over our mixing board, and it looks like Wes Scarborough is moving to first base, and Joe Buschmann advances to third. So the Redskins have runners on the corners with 1 out, and the number 7 hitter for the Redskins, Afton Cox, up to bat. Now, last time up, Afton had a mighty swing, and the ball moved about 15 feet down the third baseline, and Afton was able to easily. And there goes the runner to second. But they're not even going to make a throw. And that slide there, we're going to have to talk to Wes about that.
I'm just going to tell you right now, as an umpire,
yeah,
I think I should be allowed to call you out if you slide as ugly as that.
That was ugly. Wes and I are going to have a conversation.
I'm
that was
you.
not good.
Back in Little League, you'd wear shorts and have to come do a slide practice day.
Yeah. Well, what they're doing is they're used to it being all powdery and sandy, and it's wet and it's sticky, and they are going down and stopping right in their tracks. So Afton looks in. He's fallen behind in the count, 0-2.
And the rain's picking up on us a little bit.
And that's concerning. So there's a ball hit a ton, but that's way out of play. I hope it didn't hit my car.
I think it was in the brick area where I'm parked, so I hope it doesn't hit me, but I'm not parked right there.
Okay, good.
So
good, because Afton hit that thing hard.
Yeah,
but foul by 50 yards or so.
Yeah, he hit it a country mile, but it went a country mile wide too.
Yeah. There's a pitch, and that's a great pitch by Caden Cantrell. Gets the strikeout there on a curveball.
I think that's the first curve we've really seen from him, and that thing broke a lot. There was like 2 feet in that thing.
I'll tell you, I think the same thing. That thing broke from the middle of the plate to the left batter's box.
Yeah, that's unhittable.
So up to the plate steps Dason Spencer. Dason's due. That ball's way over his head and hot.
I mean, you might as well just let that one hit you in the head and get on to first base.
Well, if you don't die first. That thing was thrown hard, man. I'm not taking that thing in the head.
I'm ducking.
And
that thing's coming down. I'm on the ground.
Here's the other thing, Paul. Usually Coach Davis is like, you wear those pitches.
Yes, sir.
I'm watching Caden Cantrell fire these rockets in there. I'm not wearing that pitch.
Yeah, not today, Coach.
Nope. Nope, nope. So Dayson has evened the count 1-1, and there's the pitch. That ball's hit back to the pitcher. It bounces off his chest, but he's got plenty of time. Makes the throw and gets the third out, but not before the Redskins score 2 and take the lead 3-1. Joe Buschmann's running across home plate and trips and literally gets hammered. So look at that. We have great fans. That's
I tell you what.
That's Gage's little brother, and Gage's little brother just brought us this big umbrella.
I'm thinking about
Gotta love that.
I might have one up in my truck.
I might have one in my car too. I'm from St. Louis. You carry those around in your pocket.
Get one or two more. We'll be able to protect our cameras a little bit. I think our soundboard's okay. The switcher part's okay. It's just our cameras now.
So at the midway start of the fourth quarter or fourth inning.
Man, quarters would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
up 3-1 going into the bottom of the four.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're right. I'm watching two football players pitch against each other, and I've got quarter on the brain. I'm going to step away, Paul, and run up to my car. I know I've got a couple more umbrellas in the trunk, so I'm going to go do that for you real quick.
No, we would appreciate it for sure.
I've got like 3.
Yeah, we've been hearing a little bit of thunder. Hopefully we can stick away from the lightning and finish this ball game. You know, it's turned into a heck of a ball game going into the top of fourth. St. John's up 3-1. Cale Stewart's just throwing a heck of a ball game for us right now. And Caden Cantrell's done an amazing job as well. Just a couple of seeing eye singles and soft hits have been able to get runs plated. So. Coming to bat for the Lobos is number 6, the center fielder, Butler. And first pitch outside. And we agree. Grandma knees, we do definitely need umbrellas at this point. We're trying to get this thing in. We want to be here as long as we can today, you know, provide this tremendous ball game. And we have a warning to the pitcher. It went to his mouth, which is a COVID violation with our new COVID rules. Our umpire, Mr. Copeland, making sure that we follow all the protocols. Now we have a foot race between a Lobo and the assistant coach for the Redskins, who, I'm sorry, the assistant coach got smoked on that one. It's good to see two teams just having a good time, though. You know, wanting to compete, but also, you know, enjoying the game for what it is. And Cale was able to throw that one over for a strike. 2-1 ball count. And that ball a little bit low. Oh, apparently the scoreboard was off. It's ball 4. So Butler's able to reach first with no outs. And number 12, Rapier. Garrett Rapier, I believe, is what was just shouted out from the dugout. And that ball's outside. There we have Rusty coming back. Looks like he's got a couple of umbrellas. Great pitch on the inside. A little bit high, a little inside for Cale as Rapier swings through it. Evening count 1-1. You know, Victor, I almost brought my my canopy out of my trailer, but wasn't able to do that. Not only do we have umbrellas from Rusty, he decided to one-up it and get us a tarp. So we'll be able to throw tarps on our equipment and keep it dry and keep this thing progressing. As long as the game continues to play, we're here. As long as I can keep the umbrella out of the sight. Pitch thrown outside and thrown out at sliding into second base. Great throw by Buschmann to get the runner. Yeah. Thanks to Rusty and his Boy Scout motto of always being prepared for hauling a huge load in a little SUV. We're able to continue this game. Thanks to the Tricky family for the umbrella, helping us out, keeping us dry. Now, if someone could bring us a fire, we would appreciate it.
A little heater, little space heater. I'm glad to be back, actually.
Can we get a Mr. Buddy?
No kidding. All right, so now up to the plate for the Lobos, swinging for all he's worth is Garrett Rapier.
I tell you, Butler got on by a walk and then attempted to steal second, and Buschmann was able to throw a strike to second base. It was a real close. It was a real close play at second, but
well, if you threw Easton Butler out, then you did quite a job, because he's a quick kid. He can run the bases. So up to the plate steps number 7, the first baseman, and we'll see how Ashton does here. He looked at first pitch. There's the second pitch. He's swinging hard. I like that swing of his.
You know what? If you get that bat off your shoulder and swing it, it increases your chance by almost 100% of hitting the ball.
Yeah.
By 100%. I mean,
yeah.
You're not going to hit it with it on your shoulder, so might as well swing.
I
Got a
agree
little breeze
with you.
picking up.
The weather has gone from mediocre to garbage in about 10 minutes, man. I'll tell you for sure. So Cale, looking in, really wants to get this game in the books. There's a ball pitched hard right in there, but able to foul that off. Austin Munger is able to foul that ball back.
Yeah, if you're St. John's, you really want to get this game through the next inning. Get it through 4.5.
So it's 4.5 is the cutoff. Is that correct, Paul?
Yeah, I think before that, it wouldn't go as a game, but I think you could be a completed game after 5.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, we need it for both teams. I know the aforementioned Rhett Wengert needs this to be a complete game. So we're going to work hard to try and make that happen. This is kind of a joint effort with the Redskins. And
we'll play. We'll play in this weather. This isn't bad weather. We've played in way worse weather. I've done games where it snowed. I had a game in Blue Ridge about this time of year, just before the state tournament. We're over in Blue Ridge, and it's snowing so hard. There's a ball hit the center field. I don't even know how he saw it. You couldn't see the ball for all the snow that was flying. So we'll play in it as long as there's no lightning.
Right. There's the ball to the backstop.
And as long as the field can handle the rain, we'll keep playing.
I'll tell you, the field in St. John's hasn't seen water in like a year, so it can handle the rain. I have no doubt about that.
I'm hearing a little thunder, though.
Here's the pitch. And that ball is thrown right past him for strike 3, and the Redskins are able to get out of that inning with Easton Butler thrown out at second base, and then back-to-back strikeouts by number 11, the big guy, Cale Stewart.
That was a great pitch. Great inning for the Redskins. Be able to, Snowflake got the first runner on by walk, throw out at second base, and 2 strikeouts to get into the dugout. So you're St. John's. You want to come up here and put another number up on there. Just try to extend your lead a little bit. And I tell you, for the St. John's players, young team right now.
Yeah.
This is a confidence-building game too. Here they are. They're playing the number 2 team in the East.
Yes.
Pretty well ranked in the state. I can't remember where they are in the state.
I think they're 9 to 11, somewhere right in there.
But this is a really good Snowflake team, and not only are they trading punches with them, but they're up 3-1 right now.
Well, the one thing I will say about this team is The Snowflake team is missing Brevin Matthews. That kid is a stud.
He's a great catcher.
And great catcher, great hitter. So he's not in the lineup today. And then, of course, we already had mentioned that Rhett Wengert, their leading hitter, is not in the ball game today. So they're coming into this young to begin with, and then to lose two of your top.
Then we lost our camera.
That it didn't hit me as much.
Great play. That was a little blooper to the foul side of first base and a diving catch by the first baseman for the Lobos to get the first out of it.
That first baseman is Ashton Munger, and what a great play he made there.
Our camera, the wind blew our camera over, so I'm sure you guys missed it, but tremendous play.
Take our word for it. Laid completely out and was able to make the play. There's a pitch. That's a heck of a curveball right there, but it started middle of the plate, so by the time it ended.
That's a tough pitch to hold off of. So Bert being able to be patient and.
There's a called strike one, so evens the count. Got my arm around the camera. We're not going to let it fall again. There's the ball, and Justice wears that curveball on the shoulder.
Yeah, that one didn't break.
No, it didn't break.
I mean, it might have broke a shoulder, but it didn't break.
So now, with one out, the leadoff hitter for the Redskins climbs aboard with a hit by pitch, and the successful Dion Perry, who scored 2 of these 3 Redskins runs, steps to the plate here. Dion looks in. There's the pitch. That's called first strike. That's a good pitch for Caden to start that at bat with. Hard fastball on the outside half. There's a throw back to first, but you're not going to get Justice Burt, especially if you grew up playing with Justice Burt.
Yeah.
That's a tough one for Caden to pick off. Justice isn't going anywhere right now. There's a pitch outside, even the count at 1-1. We're looking at each other over here. We've got electrical outlets with the rain going inside them.
Yeah, we're not on metal or anything.
Yeah, I don't care.
And a swing and a miss by Dion. That was a pitch that Dion wishes he wouldn't have swung at. Curveball in the dirt.
Hey, you're being aggressive. One thing we know about Dion Perry is he's an aggressive dude. He's going to be aggressive.
Absolutely.
Paul said we're not standing on metal or anything. The whole place is nothing but aluminum. There's the ball hit hard to the second baseman, who throws, and they try to turn the double play, but it's just not in time to catch the speedy Dion Perry down the first baseline. Tremendous play by the shortstop, Jace LeSueur, who's able to get that ball and almost get the double play. So now, with 2 outs and a runner at first, Cale Stewart steps to the plate. Cale Stewart is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs in this ball game. So he would like to see if he can't make it 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs. The runner is going. That ball is fouled out of play for strike 1.
So we appreciate the comment on YouTube. When we were rushing to switch the cameras and protect the equipment, we hit a button and we flipped our screen, so we had a double shot of the scoreboard. So, which is important. But then, so we flipped it back. We apologize for that, and thank you for bringing it up as St. John's able to get a steal.
Dion's able to steal second base bag on a ball in the dirt. I'll say this, the fact that that's all that's happened is that we had 2 cameras on the scoreboard. It's not sprinkling anymore, it's raining. That ball is on the outside half of the plate for a called strike 2, and Cale's going to have to protect here with 2 outs. Count 1 and 2 on the batter, trying to get through this inning and half of the next, and we'll be in good shape. Time called by the umpire.
Yeah, I'm not real sure how far many innings. That's one that as officials,
right,
we don't worry about it. We just suspend the game,
right,
and then the ADs in the state come in afterwards. But you know, a 10-run game, you have to get through 5
Sure.
to make it. So 4.5 at this point. So
I think you're right. I think it has to go 5, halfway through the 5th, or the team that is down gets the opportunity to hit in the 5th.
yeah,
Cale is really battling this pitcher and has battled off 2 filthy pitches.
yeah, that's a great
Fouled him
curveball.
back. He battled off a heater down the middle, fouled it straight back, and then just now fouled back a curveball. So count is 1-2. Cale Stewart stands in on this rainy day. There's a pitch. He's hit that thing a mile in the air, but that's out of play.
No, the wind's bringing it back.
Oh, and the first baseman is unable to make the play. Typically, just for our listening and viewing audience, the wind blows from the left field corner to the right field corner. Today, the wind is blowing from home plate to third base.
Well, this is like our or summer storms.
Yeah.
You know, this
They
one came
come
out
opposite.
of the east on us, so it's more like the summer storms that we have. So we're watching out there towards the west, and you know it wasn't looking bad. We looked behind us more towards the east, and it was building up. There's a pass ball that's going to get the runner to third base.
Dion comes way around the bag, but turns and goes back. So now, with 2 outs, the count is 2-2. We've got Deuces Wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on number 11 with a runner at third base. Cale gets a hit right here. He goes 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs. He'd love that.
Oh, absolutely. Putting another run on the board for him, giving him a little bit more lead to work with. He desperately wants it.
There's that hesitation
Yeah, that's a
pitch.
That's a tough one right here. You know, he's already been warned on it once. You don't know if the umpire's gonna do anything or not.
It's it's tough for a hitter if you're going to pause in the middle of your windup. There it is. There's the pitch. Cale hits that thing to shortstop. That's a tough play. Shortstop on the run makes a throw to the first baseman,
And gets
who
away
is
from him.
unable to handle the throw. 2 things. The ball's in the grass, so when the shortstop picks that ball up, it's soaking wet.
It's wet.
He's got to pull it out of his glove and make a quick throw to get Cale Stewart running down the first baseline.
And everything's going towards third, so he's got to throw across his body. It's tough.
Yeah, that whole thing was tough. So Cale again now with he's 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs on the day. Score is 4-1 Redskins. In steps the catcher and one of the senior leaders, Joe Buschmann. He'll be at bat. Takes a swing at a pitch that curved from the center part of the plate to the left batter's box.
Yeah, he was completely fooled on that, and
That's tough to hit.
you're not going to hit that pitch. That's a pitcher's pitch. It's a great first strike.
Great pitch to throw as a first strike. It makes the hitter, even if he doesn't swing, go, wow, man, that kid's got a tough curveball. There's the pitch.
Great. That pitch bent back to catch the corner. That pitch was going outside, and it cut back in.
That's how hard he's thrown. I mean, he absolutely unloaded with that pitch. So Joe Buschmann behind 0-2 in the count. There's the ball swinging, and Caden Cantrell is able to get out of the inning, but not before another Redskin run scores. And so after 4 innings, the Redskins lead the Lobos 4-1 with the Snowflake Lobos coming to bat here in the top of the 5th inning.
We even have fans going, I thought we were coming to St. John's where it's dry. It doesn't rain in St. John's. Yeah, it came back in. So fortunately, it's not a heavy rain. So I mean, the players, the umpires, they can play through this right now. You just hope that the field conditions don't deteriorate too much.
Well, they'll need to get going here. If I'm Coach Davis, I'm giving him the "let's get going" sign. Let's get through this next half inning and see what happens after that.
Yeah, if you're Coach Lang, you're going to pull out. You need to pull out all the stops right here to try to get caught back up right here, right now. You know, 3 runs. That's a lot of runs to make up, though, in an inning.
It is. It's especially when you've been unsuccessful getting runners on base to begin with. They've put a runner on base every inning, but just one, except for in that second inning where they were able to score one. So we'll see what happens here. My hands are turning. It's a shade of red that's going purple, but I'm trying to hold the tarp on this camera because, I want to make sure our YouTube viewers and our Team Legacy production fans are able to view many Redskin games for many years to come.
We appreciate the comments from our Snowflake faithful, Snowflake fans over there that couldn't make the trip over here for last second game. Appreciate your comments, and we're going to do the best job that we can. We have more cameras that we usually do, but we had them pulled down for another production that we had, and you get a lightning storm, rainstorm out here. You can't protect all of them like we usually have set up. So right now, Tristan Clough steps to the plate, takes a first pitch strike. There's the second pitch in the dirt. Joe Buschmann unable to handle that. Tristan's playing left field, has had a couple of opportunities to make plays, and done a great job. Looks like we got heavy rain getting ready to roll in here too.
There's a called strike on the outside half. I'm going to go home and watch this thing, and I'm going to laugh because I know what we're going through right now.
Yeah, we might need to be wrapping this thing up here shortly, because if we get any more rain, we're sitting in a precarious position.
We are. We've got a lot of electricity. There's a strikeout for the first out of the inning, and up to the plate for the Lobos is, I want to say that's Ryan Caskey. I can't tell.
We're pouring water off some of our equipment.
I'm looking at a young man with a sweatshirt on, and if we're going by numbers, Russ doesn't know, but I think that's Ryan Caskey, and he steps in. Ryan is the Lobo that scored the lone run for their ball club today, so he's looking to get back on and see if he can't start a little rally here. Break in the rain, but not much, and it looks pretty bleak to the east of us right now. So Cale Stewart with the windup, the throw, and thought he was going to go, but he held back on that for ball 3. So Cale falls behind deep, 3-2, no balls. So no strikes, 3 balls. I'm sorry.
You're Cale. You're at the bottom of the lineup, lower portion of the lineup. You want to get knuckle down, get 2 more outs. Let's get through this inning and see what happens. Yeah. I think we're going to try to get through this inning, and then we're going to put stuff away, because
I agree with you.
It's getting ugly for us.
I agree with you. I think if we can get
and we're already taking down the scoreboard camera, and Victor's starting to put stuff away right now, so that we can
and the boxes are getting wet. I agree, and there's one thing that we can't do anything about, and that's the Mother Nature and the weather. So we're kind of at its beck and call.
Yeah, we did our best. We apologize for that, and
having to leave early.
Yes, sir. Heck of a ball game. 2 great teams, 2 great communities. Snowflake's just filled with great people over there. And
well, I spend my days in Snowflake, and I work over there. I love Snowflake. I love their young men. I just think there is just a great group of young men at Snowflake High School that I've really grown fond of. And I bleed red. I bleed St. John's Redskin red, so I wear red and white in Snowflake a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. It just seems to be getting worse, and everything's getting a lot more wet.